Holy moly, look at this wick on AMC. If this holds into the close, that's gonna be crazy. Now, a couple things we need to talk about here in this video. What's going on with AMC stock here today? AMC is up 28.5%. You guys know what's happened with this court proceeding, but what's happening now? And what do you need to know? Volume is elevated as well. Obviously, that's probably as forecasted. We've seen 85 million shares trade hands on Friday. Most of this wasn't after hours. And now today, so far on the day, we're only about 2 hours into the trading day, and you're seeing 137.5 million for volume. Now, it does not look like, in fact, the shorts have started to cover, and a lot of this move is looking like a gamma squeeze. So let's go ahead and get into a couple key things here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. So what's going on with AMC? Obviously, you guys already know this is the court situation. The judge made her ruling, and it caused AMC stock to rally. But you're also getting good news with just the movie theater industry. 7.8 million moviegoers in the U.S. and internationally saw a movie at AMC Thursday to Sunday, as AMC Theaters records its biggest and busiest weekend since 2019 based on global attendance and global admissions revenue. So this is definitely a big deal for, AMC's business fundamentally. Now, AMC, it looks like, is trying to file another revised stock conversion plan to the Delaware court. And this is something we reported on yesterday. Newswires are picking it up, but the judge has actually dismissed this already. So, from my knowledge, there is no longer a revised kind of settlement. That has not actually happened today, although the news is kind of behind and they still haven't picked that up. So I think once we get news on that, once that hits the newswire, that could be, another round of buyers stepping in, essentially. Now, what this is doing is drawing a lot of attention to AMC. A lot of people had no idea what was going on with AMC. I'm not talking your apes. I'm not talking, you and me. We've known full well what's been going on. But a lot of just investors in general out there, well, AMC wasn't on their radar because nothing was really happening. The stock was falling, just pretty consistently. Now, this is an interesting situation because you've never seen this before. So it's hard to say how this is going to play out. You've never seen a trade go so against the hedge funds and institutions, and nobody was planning for that to happen. Nobody was hedging, nothing. And this was like a double-edged sword. So if you were really part of the arbitrage trade and you shorted AMC and you went long on Ape, not doing so hot as well. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Well, Ape's down 3%. It was down a lot more than that, obviously, after this news had broke. Ape hit a low of 67 cents Friday morning, which, geez, that was a good 3x from here. Kind of insane. Ape is at $1.74. It's only down 3% today. This kind of shows you that a lot of your hedge funds and institutions are still in this trade, and they really don't want to cover on their short positions, which is really ass backwards if you ask me, because, look at the cost to borrow fees. Look at where everything is at with AMC. You're about to get blown up if you're a hedge fund. And a lot of them already have. Now, what you are seeing today is a little bit higher of that positive order value number. So positive order value is 13%, which is still super, super low. But it's higher than the 1% that we seen on Friday. It's higher than the 1% we seen for last week. on $170 million worth of options. These put options essentially lost about 50% of their value on Friday. So a lot of people were confused how option settlement works if a move like what we've seen on Friday happens in after hours. If a move like that happens, and let's say you had a $6 call, well, you got paid out for that. If you had a $4 put or a $6 put or whatever, an $8 put, well, you lost your ass on that, even if the move happened in after hours, because technically it doesn't settle, right? Until after everything is all said and done, after everything is already closed. So lots of option buyers lost their ass. A lot of shorts lost their ass and are losing their ass even more, here today. The numbers haven't updated, but this dollar amount sold short is going to be close to about $850 million, if not as much as $1 billion. And just depending how tomorrow goes as well, that's obviously going to change these numbers quite a bit. It's possible AMC could rally for a while here, because it doesn't look like this court proceeding is going anywhere quickly. What AMC tried to do on Sunday is file a motion with the courts to have the courts approve this settlement, but to not hear from shareholders. And the judge denied that, saying that they will not let that go through without hearing commentary or opinions from the stockholders, which makes a lot of sense. AMC was just trying to get around essentially the process we've seen over the past month or two now, where it's really just been shareholders making their cases to the judge over and over and over again. AMC is saying, hey, we don't want to go do that again. Just approve a new settlement. We don't know the exact details of this settlement as of right now. I believe that comes out after the bell today, if not maybe even tomorrow. So we'll see what that revised settlement looks like. The last settlement deal was for $100 million. I imagine it could be a lot higher now. Now, AMC stock still on the threshold securities list. About 28% short interest of free float, 144 million shares that are currently sold short. Cost to borrow fees 992%. Cost to borrow average 975%. Cost to borrow max 1,060%. And cost to borrow minimum 538%. So these numbers are still out of this world. And I imagine they remain elevated until we get some form of clarity. AMC stock is on the threshold securities list. That essentially puts the shorts on notice that, hey, if you have failure to deliver, you have to cover on them. And AMC's been on the threshold securities list many times in the past, and that tends to kind of lead to a positive reaction. So we'll see how much that actually plays a role this time around. Now, as far as the option activity, why this looks like a gamma squeeze more than actually shorts covering is, we're just not getting any data suggestive of shorts covering. That's number one. If you look at the short change, looks like about 267,000 shares potentially were covered today. That's Ortex's estimate. That is nothing compared to 145 million shares that is sold short. So this 29-30% rally that you're seeing really has nothing to do with shorts covering. Now, if we look at the option activity expiring this Friday, this is where things get interesting, because you now have about 80,000 calls in the money and only 44,000 calls out the money. These numbers were substantially lower in the videos put out this weekend where we looked at the Stonko Tracker data. And this is something I talked about. Due to this positive catalyst, it was likely that you get option buyers, call buyers step in and buy the options. And that's going to have a very dramatic short-term effect on AMC stock. And it looks like that's what's happening here today. Now, as well as that, on the put side, the puts are definitely much larger than the calls as far as out the money. Out the money puts at 282,000. In the money puts at 24,000. Just nothing compared to, the call side. There's double, triple the amount of puts on this expiration than there is calls. But a lot of these puts went from into the money and went out of the money, right? Especially around that $5, $5.50, and $6 prices. So that is also buying pressure from the market makers when they're hedging all these puts and then the stock rallies. Well, they don't have to keep those hedges on anymore, so they start to buy back some of those hedges. It's as simple as that. It's you know, like the two forms of buying pressure from market makers with options is puts going from into the money, out of the money, and calls going from out the money into the money. And that's exactly what you're seeing happening here today. So good news with the movies as well. Oppenheimer and Barbie definitely bringing people to theaters, and that is also helping the story today. Now, a quick look at the technicals as well. This is a crazy wick. If this holds into the end of the day, that's going to be insane. Now, what you want to see, the only thing that I really care about is this 200-day moving average as of right now. During this wick, you fell to the 100-day moving average at $4. I believe the low was $4.87 per share today. And it briefly broke the 100-day moving average. You just want to see it hold the 200-day moving average. Now, what a wick like this is showing you is that there was a lot of shorts that stepped in, tried to beat down AMC, but the buyers came in and bought it up. That's what this is, showing buying support. So as long as you hold that 200-day moving average, it's still going to be a crazy bottom wick. That's going to show, again, you know, people came in and they bought the stock. They held the stock as support. This has caused the RSI to jump from Friday at 51.76 to where we are currently sitting at 76.67. So a massive jump that you are seeing here with the RSI. So there is that. That's really the big story of what is actually happening here on the day today. As you guys know, we're going to have earnings here in after hours. Cleveland Cliffs, NXP, Cadence, AGNC, Whirlpool, Logitech, F5, MedPace, RLI, and Brown & Brown. Tomorrow, pre-market, Verizon, GM, 3M, GE, Spotify, Raytheon Technologies, NextEra Energy, and Alaska Airlines are going to be the big ones. Tuesday and after hours, Microsoft, Google, Snapchat, Visa, Teladoc. These are some of your names to look forward to, you know, today and after hours, as well as tomorrow. Microsoft and Google, those are going to be the big ones. As far as the broader index and what could actually move you know, liquidity around and potentially even cause a liquidity crisis if these names do also fall. Now, as you guys also know, on Wednesday, it's Fed Jerome Powell at 9:30 in the morning, or not 9:30, 2 p.m. And then it's Fed Jerome Powell, the press conference at 2:30 p.m. That's going to be the next big catalyst of this week. And then on Thursday, you're going to get GDP growth rates quarter over quarter for Q2. You're also going to get personal spending data, PCE data, personal income data on Friday. Durable goods is also on Wednesday, but I don't think that's really going to be a big catalyst at all. So that's kind of what we have going for us right now. We're obviously going to have to wait and see how this affects AMC, but as of right now, I see a pretty clear path to continuing to make that upside move. I don't really think there's anything to stop this train that we are on, and I think this is only just the start of a probably multi-week rally in AMC. And again, you just want to rally higher to get maybe to $20 or $25 per share, and then see 100, 200, 300% day from there. That's where you're going to get that exponential gain, is during that big rally, that big dollar rally that we see, right? So that's what I have for you guys here in this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time every time I make a trade, link down below in the description of this video as well. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.